the 3-3 playoff, which will be a giant match, and the top however many slots are left in the bracket stage will make it.
Yep. And it looks like we are underway.
Indeed. All right, blue mail out of the house.
Blue mail in the house. And just a piece of heart in the sanctuary.
Are you sure? He's got Kane.
Oh, never mind. Apparently we have a Kane.
All right. Breakfast Kane is best Kane, I guess.
Seems legit. Yep, that is the Cane of Samaria, indeed.
And we've got our first bottle of the match in the secret passage containing a bee.
Yep. We don't know which bee yet.
It could be a good bee.
Sure
Could be a bad bee.
Are you a good bee or a bad bee? And the hammer!
Wow.
Found the hammer in the Lost Woods thieves' hut. Oh, sorry, I'm a little ahead.
Quite all right. Still awesome start to this match, getting the cane and the hammer.
There we go. Alright, now I can dispense with that being a head mess.
Quite all right.
All right. So Dragon's heading into Blind's hut. Meanwhile, Makinx will be picking up that hammer.
Yeah, and we're just seeing a pretty standard opening. Oh, the Moon Pearl. Here in Blind's hut.
Indeed. Now, unfortunately, Dragon does not have any bombs, so he will not be able to check what's in the back of Blind's hut at the moment.
Oh, it makes a bad trade with the bottle vendor.
Yep. It's a bad trade, but in addition to that 20 rupees, you also get a little thing we like to call peace of mind.
Indeed. And our first sword just 3 minutes into the match here in the back of the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make a purchase of those bombs now. And we're just power gloves away from Dark World access and also no reason to go see Aga.
Yep. Very, very nice.
And the Sanctuary Heart coming out of the hut. We know it's a Sanctuary Heart because it gives you a full refill once you pick it up.
Yep. So they will not be getting unexpected free refills sometime later in the run.
Yeah, I guess that is a bummer. You like to see that maybe on your way into like Moldorm or Aga 2.
Alright, so here in the Kakariko well, we find the flute. Which means I have something to do. Though I think I will wait for Makinx to do his flute. Just so I don't have to match up.
Works for me.
Alright. So once Makinx goes through Blind's Hut, we will have our swag duck anthem. Early morning swag duck.
Indeed. And we've got chat calling for boots next. It seems like it at the rate these runners are going, but I suppose it has to die off eventually, and I wonder what will remain as a sort of search for go mode.
Alright, all rise. When I sing you this verse, things just seem to get worse. So to hold off this curse, I will be nice. No required double dips, no required catfish, and not one single trip to Pendant Ice.
That was beautiful. Hopefully it comes true.
Yeah. That set of lyrics, I've got several variations on it, in case all of the pendants are available.
Right.
And so I can choose a different dungeon.
Right. Makes sense. Alright, Makinx gonna check the race game here as Dragon. Ooh!
Flippers.
Indeed, he's gonna run right over to those.
Yeah, this was one of those scenarios where I probably would have checked first because I'd picked up so much progression already.
Right, like you figure it's gotta stop eventually, right?
Yeah. I also assumed that Makinx also has a sword. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So I guess Dragon didn't go down here?
No, only went to the secret passage and then, started somewhere else.
Well, alright then.
Alright, I'm gonna flute away after picking up those flippers. And see what's inside the dam.
So inside the dam we have a large heart container.
Indeed, and at this rate, Makinx is averaging about 3.25 hearts gained per minute on that life meter. We should see a second row in no time.
Seems pretty good.
And there goes another. He's gonna pass it up though.
Yeah. I have seen in the past some, passing up hearts come back to bite people, but hopefully that won't happen today.
Well, if by the time a swamp dip is in the cards, the health is still low, then they'll be able to take care of it then.
Yeah. And just 50 rupees in the dungeon chest, and moving on.
Yeah, sword obviously helping out huge for Makinx, making this play a mini Moldorm. Got 5 items here.
Oh,
one's a fire rod. The blue rang, $20. An arrow upgrade, and more hearts. So
Fire
perhaps
rod's
in
good enough.
decreasing importance. Yeah, it's another awesome weapon to have early, and it's also one that is going to be needed pretty much always, depending on the way the pendants fall. But
There's a couple of weird scenarios where it's not required.
which actually we could be looking at one, as I see we have all Light World crystals.
Yeah. So all Light World crystals are a thing.
Yeah, shoutouts to our tracker Jake Hart for picking up the map check that I definitely missed.
Oh yeah, me too.
And there it goes again.
Alright.
4, 5, and 7.
Yeah, so 4 at Hera, 5 at Eastern, and 7 at Desert, which means Eastern's usually an early play for most players.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the easier sets of dark rooms as it goes, only being blocked from completion at this point by the bow in the literal sense. In the logic sense, they would also want the lamp.
All right. So there's Dragon picking up his fire rod. Meanwhile, Makinx will be heading into the hobo's location.
And
And
those are
he's got the
gloves.
power glove.
Fantastic. That
So
blows this
bad.
wide open.
Now, Dragon, we may see Dragon do the fake flippers.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't gone to the race game. He certainly wouldn't have passed up the flips.
I believe
All
it.
right.
Makinx saving a little time by fluting back to 8 before heading up to Zora. He is a little short on Zora money.
Right,
But
I'm
he
going to make
can-
this check here.
Right.
20 and another heart. We're working our way up.
Yep.
Yeah, the best thing he could have pulled from there realistically would have been a 300.
Yep.
I mean, apart from maybe some other progression.
Be kind of hilarious if we see a 300 on the ledge here.
With just the Neapolitan heart piece, as someone once put it. It's in a vanilla heart piece location, but is it the right one? It looks like Dragon will end up picking up those flippers in a matter of time. While we're in the dark world at about 12 minutes in.
And it looks like we're going to get to go to everybody's favorite hype cave, Hype Cave.
All right, let's see. We had a bit of hype in our mini Moldorm cave earlier, which is often one of the understudies to the hype cave. Let's see if we've got 2 of them tonight. Well, this morning. 300 rupees.
Yep. Makinx could have used that about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
There's
ooh,
the Ether Medallion.
And a shield.
And a shield, all right. So Ether could be important. It sure was last night, let me tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
It was a blind pedestal
There's a
required
map
Ether.
check. Looks like
Oh,
pendants are Thieves, Skullwoods, and Palace of Darkness.
Dragon missed the flippers. He went over there to grab them, never actually picked them up,
Oh, no.
and then fluted away.
Oh, no. Well, at least he's aware of this fact.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to miss a the lack of a fanfare. He's giving us the song of his people as Stumpy hands
is.
out Master Sword.
Yep, Stumpy is handing out weaponry today. Might have been the sword that cut down the stump in the first place. I don't know. What? Dragon!
Did he do it again?
Yes. He fluted out of the race game.
I'm perplexed.
Yep.
All right, but we're getting a digging game from Makinx.
So the thing is, Dragon is going to have to pick those up at some point because
Right.
the Swamp Palace is required.
Yeah, and so he'll have made 3 runs through that race game as we get a bottle with a fairy in for Makinx at the digging game.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Now the good news is Makinx will be able to check what Zora has.
Right. Having the money to do so. Yeah, Yeah, skipping
was-
Hobo.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Oh man, yeah, this is
gonna
that's a mistake that's really gonna end up costing him here. I hate to be so down on him this early in the run, but
Well, the first, I believe, was an honest mistake. I think
sure.
the second one was a little bit of salty Y mashing.
Right. All right, and tempered
There's
sword
the
behind
tempered
Sahasrara,
sword. What?
and a little bit of love from King Zora.
Alrighty. So I think Makinx will probably be going for like the backside of Escape next.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because
Got
you
those
picked
gloves.
up the Power Glove.
And it looks like the flippers will not go unretrieved, as the lamp is in the back of Escape.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
Lamp in the back of Escape. I believe Makinx has also been down to the dungeon chest, which means the key is in the dark chest, and you will not have to go there.
Makes sense. Okay, dragonc0 has the flipper. We're sure of it. I seen
Did you see him read the sign there in the middle?
Yeah. Oh man,
Is that what it says in the actual vanilla game?
I can't remember. Which actually, I would guess that it isn't, because this comes from the Japanese 1.0.
Well, right. But, like, I think in the English version it says something like, why are you stopping to read a sign?
I'm not sure. We had Quake on the island in the lake. I did not notice that earlier if Makinx had checked.
Yep. So, Quack is there, and Dragon will be picking up the Power Glove. Meanwhile, Makinx will be heading into the Village of Outcasts. Not going with the standard meme play of heading to Skullwoods first.
Right.
And, you know, that's not a bad play because you have the Fire Rod, but that being said, it's a pendant.
Right, and while so is Thieves Town, you've got more locations down here, so this one wins out, I think.
This is actually my least favorite setup of pendants.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah, because Pendant Pod always seems to have something.
Yeah.
And it's way
Pod.
in the back,
Mm-hmm.
as you well know,
Yep.
because that's where the party's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get Pendant Pod, Pendant Skullwoods, and Thieves Town, which are the ones you can access as soon as you get to the Dark World.
Right, so it's like,
So,
well, are these
just like-
basically just overworld chests now?
Yep. Now, checking Skullwoods is still a big deal. And it tends to be pretty high value in the current logic.
Indeed, and there goes our third medallion, the
Wow.
second one retrieved, Bombos at the Sea House.
So we know where all the medallions are.
Right, and if that Quake comes into play, it'll make Mirror required.
Mirrors required anyway for Swamp Palace.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah. Speaking of mirror, that's one of the few items that could be on the pedestal.
Indeed.
Yes, C is for Bombos, that's right.
Yep. Some kind of swirly cookie coin.
Now I want swirly cookies. Thank you.
And a cape here in Thieves Town, first of our 4 items possible.
Cape is, finding the cape here is actually pretty cool in case you run into a mishap with blind.
Yeah, it's definitely a great bailout strategy. We see players will opt for the Cane of Burna, which is a similar item, of course, and they even already have the red cane, so we might see that if our players are feeling more confident in the fight.
Yeah. Well, I just love I feel like the Cane of Samaria makes the fight easier. I may be the weirdest person in the world.
I'll tell you what, I have a lot easier of a time not being close to blind and hitting him than I do being close to blind and hitting him.
Indeed. Yeah.
Right. With that early small key, we can imagine the chest next to the maiden in the basement will have an item, or perhaps just a dungeon item at this point.
Yeah. So, Makinx heading through the aptly named Hellway.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts in that one, and when a bunch of them are the spike traps, doesn't matter what mail you have, you're taking whole hearts.
And now we head into Grasshopper Alley. These grasshoppers will take 1 heart of damage right now with blue mail. With green mail, it's 2 hearts.
Right.
Which is pretty unfortunate. And they are essentially the same enemy as the rats in the sewer.
Right. Yeah, the game does some background checks for seeing what world you're in to assign behaviors and sprites.
And it is the world, because I've been playing a little entrance randomizer recently.
Right.
And if you come into Thieves Town from the light world, those things deal 1/4 heart of damage and die 1 hit to anything.
Right, and they also run around like rats and make the squeak noise, where the behavior for the buzz is a bit different. Oh, there's the mirror out of Skull Woods as Dragon has made his way to Dark World. All right.
So the Skull Woods meme is alive.
Indeed. That is significantly to his benefit.
And Makinx picking up a 4th heart piece right there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely nice timing. He's unlikely to take any damage on his way up to this boss fight.
Yep.
And so he will have sword
hammer.
beams.
Having the hammer means you can access this chest. And there it is.
$20.
That is the last item in Thieves Town.
All right.
But Thieves Town is the green pendant.
Right. So it has a bonus item if you want to head back over towards Eastern, and our players will eventually, just for that crystal if nothing else.
Very true. Yeah. Neither of them actually did go inside Eastern Palace.
You know, and now that you mention it, it's kind of an unusual thing to happen. All right. It's going to run the scripted blind fight. First time you bring the maiden in, you get the same behavior every time.
Well, that seems a little less than scripted, because I don't think in the scripted fight he's supposed to go across the room. But
right,
we'll see.
Ends up missing the cutoff there time-wise.
Yeah, I think to watch every race in this tournament, you'd have to start now and finish about when the next tournament starts.
Yeah, when we've got simultaneous races going on between the main and the secondary, or even just in the main when we can't get a 4-way run in. It's a lot to watch.
Oh, I'm definitely talking about just the main tournament. If you try to throw in all the restreamed secondary matches, good luck. I'll see you in a couple of years.
Right. All right. Makinx gonna retrace some steps of dragonc0 here and check the bumper cave. Just some bombs.
And Makinx will be heading in to pick up that mirror.
And that'll about even these guys out. Maybe a slight advantage to Makinx for time-wise. Oh, and I guess having not gone to the back of Escape, Dragon has no lamp.
Right. No lamp for Dragon, but I imagine that will be rectified in some amount of time.
Unless he's exceedingly comfortable in the dark.
Yep. In which case we would suspect him of being a vampire and see what happens.
You know, when he picked up the mirror, I didn't see a reflection.
There is that.
Yeah, See how he feels about the validation arrow. Often called the vampire skewer.
There you go. Alright, so there's the burrito. I do not want to know what a skull burrito tastes like.
Ugh.
No thank you.
Yeah, some kind of weird Halloween dish, a bone burrito.
Yeah.
Alright, and he's gonna head into the back here. Figuring, well, I'm in the area. And I guess the other item's somewhere in here.
And meanwhile, dragonc0 will be finishing off Thieves Town. There's the big key.
Interesting.
And Makinx deciding not to go to Mothula.
And maybe
Or
deciding to
changing
go
his
to
mind.
Mothra. Yeah, a little bit of a dip and a dive here. But someone in chat asking what the difference in swords has been. And that was, as far as I know, Sahasrara's closet had the third sword for Makinx. And I think...
No,
that
I
is
think
the
they
one that
both went to
Dragon
Sahasrara's Hollet. I don't think Dragon's been to Stumpy yet.
Oh, I saw him go to Stumpy.
Really? Well, I am making that up then.
Eh. Well, then I guess the...
You know what? You're right. Yeah, I remember now.
Eh,
Yeah, it's Sahasrara.
it's all good. Alright. Bringing the fire to bear on that Gibdo to pick up the last key. I'm gonna get some simultaneous boss fight action.
And here we go. So, Mothula here goes down very quickly to the Tempered Sword, assuming you can hit him in such a way that he actually
And
takes
there we
damage.
go. Double explosion. Get your speed
The
sinks in
Ice
chat.
Rod!
Ooh. That's gonna pay big for
Wow.
if Dragon doesn't get back to finish that soon.
Skull Woods.
Hacking the ice.
Skull Woods had Mirror and Ice Rod. That's 2 required items. That's all the items there are in Skull Woods.
Right.
So there you
and
go.
100% progress rate.
You know what we had in Skull Woods last night?
2 heart pieces.
Both games.
Oh, both games. That's fantastic. Someone in chat pointed out he could clear Turtle Rock now.
There is that.
I have a feeling he's going to make his way to Hera first.
Yeah, we'll see.
But first he wants to pick up his old man.
Yeah, you know, I might be tempted to, before I come up here, actually go pick up the Quake Medallion, just in case.
You know? Yeah, I forget if he has that information of its location or if it was Dragon, but if you have it, I think it's a trip you have to make just to make 100% sure. Not to mention, if the dead rocks get to be too much, it's the one medallion that affects them.
Yep. So, at this point, looking at Pedestal, there's only one item that can be there. That's required. Or one item that can be there, or something that leads to it.
And you're thinking hookshot?
Yeah, that's it.
Yup. Yeah, because the bow's needed for pod. Boots potentially for Key Lock Desert, but yeah.
Right, boots. Forgot about boots. Boots can be a thing.
I often do.
Wait.
They're kind of a fetch quest item too because of Bonk Rocks, but yeah.
Oh, somebody just pointed it out.
The
it can be
mitts.
Titan's mitts.
Yeah.
That would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, that'd be one for the ages. Just getting the follow up from Dragon, getting his red rang off the old man now.
Alright, so Makinx heading into the Tower of Hera.
Indeed. Having all the fire you could possibly want. So, if that trip to the basement is required, we can be sure he will make it.
So 300 rupees there in the basement area. And there's the big key, which means we will not be heading to the basement just yet.
Right. Still a small chance. We've got a number of chests and then Moldorm, who could be holding the item. Other than that, we know the small key is among the items on our ascent too, so.
Yep. There are 3 remaining items on the way up. One of them guaranteed to be a small key. The other 2 could be something important.
Yeah, they're going to be a grab bag among the dungeon items and the next item. So that's a compass.
There's one of the dungeon items. Looks like Makinx will be heading to the big chest in the vanilla fashion.
With this loadout, I always dig this move just because you can bomb jump, but if you miss it, you're falling hard.
You could do the Yaga bomb jump.
It's true.
That was great.
Yeah, really cool setup where he used the a first bomb to put himself in position for a second bomb to send him across the gap. All right, and here goes Moldorm 1.
Off we go. And meanwhile,
Oh no.
Dragon is making the bomb jump.
Makes it look easy.
Makinx
And
gets wrecked by Moldorm. Falls
Yeah.
in the hole.
oh jeez. This is effectively a turn of leads here. Although not by much. At least in terms of this dungeon, of course. There are
Dragon still doesn't have the lamp, so there's that.
Right, along with the ice rod. But depending on our player's prowess here, we may see Dragon end up with this crystal before Makin. And in fact, with
not at this rate.
Oh no. Just missing the double drop.
So,
Alright. Moldorm giving our players hard chase.
yeah. I think this is called the business.
The business. I hear you get 15 yards for that in football.
Could be.
And down goes Moldorm for Makinx. And
it
to the
looks
basement
like-
we go.
Yep, we have an item in the basement. So we will be having our intermission time. So make sure to go get a coffee or something.
Right.
But no.
And down goes Moldorm for Dragon, taking a little bit longer using that Master Sword.
We affectionately call this the intermission room, or the coffee break room, because there's a little trick you can do to stand on one of these pegs and not take any damage from the tiles.
And we see it put to work
There it
there.
is.
Yep. The way collision detection works here is the pegs aren't supposed to harm you, but you're colliding with them. And so you get kind of half of the hit. And luckily it's the good half, so you just kind of hang out here and enjoy your invincibility. Both players using the same setup, even with the having gotten the refill off of Moldorm, putting the sword beams to work. And all 22 of these tiles. Alright, and it's a bottle of blue.
Alright. I mean, it's not progression that they're looking for, but you know what? I'm not going to say no.
Safety, yeah.
Certainly not going to argue with a blue potion.
Indeed.
If you argue with a blue potion, I'm told that it starts growing legs.
300 rupees on a floating island. Potion growing legs, that would be something.
Mm-hmm. If you argue with the red potion, it gets starts getting larger and takes over the streets of New York.
Little Ghostbusters action for you there.
Potion spray with V27 sounds good.
We can
And
place
here
the
we go.
purple chest.
Yep.
And his bunny sprite is the bottle. Oh, that's got to be my new favorite.
You could do the
sprite,
potion sprite and you know, fill with the different liquids.
Oh
to
yeah,
be
for the male.
males.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Huh. All right. Gonna get a check of Paradox Cave here from Makinx. So named for the seeming mismatch between its interior and exterior. Oh. And we're starting off a bit slow. One of our single green rupees.
Alright. And here in... This is the main event of Paradox Cave.
Okay.
And there's the hook shot.
Alright, I knew there had to be something good in there, right? There it is, a Paradox Cave hook shot. Dragon just steps behind at this point.
Yep. And so at this point, the pedestal hype index falls to a 0.2.
Yeah, we got boots or mitts. Or items leading.
And it looks like Makinx will be heading over to the Spike Cave.
I think so.
Yep, it is within the logic at the moment.
Yeah, with the cape, you can apply yourself some invincibility and be able to make your way across the sea of spikes.
So for those of us who are unaware, in previous versions of this, the Spike Cave used to just require the hammer and the gloves. But they altered the logic so that you have to have some way of reaching the chest here without taking any damage.
Right. That is, of course, for our one-hit KO mode.
Oh, butter!
Butter in the Spike Cave! Very nice. And with the number of bosses remaining to defeat, this is certainly going to have an impact.
Yeah, butter is huge.
Yeah. dragonc0's gonna work on setting up Swamp Palace now. Figures he worked hard for those flippers. He's gonna put them to use. It looks like Makinx won't be far behind.
Now you see, I feel like if any place is the TARDIS, it's Turtle Rock.
I was been talking
it's
that out.
Way bigger on the inside.
It sure feels like it.
So Dragon's heading into Swamp now.
Right. And this dungeon taking a considerable amount of time to set up, but both players end up doing it, so it's not a huge deal.
pretty. I mean, having the hook shot at this point, that does seem like the play.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up. There's 6 items here. Doesn't mean there's 6 good items, but we'll see.
Very true. We already have seen one, pretty solid dud. I mean,
so
Titan's mid pedestal would be the biggest troll.
It'd be pretty hype. I don't know that I've seen that before, but it's certainly possible, as none of our pendant dungeons specifically require it. Which, I mean, we might end up seeing a pull out of Makinx if Helmassar has an item.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get sort of led that way.
Yep. Makinx has both of the other pendants.
Right. And has not turned in the green yet. We may be looking at a vanilla boot seed.
Yeah, quite possible. I've seen a few vanilla boot seeds in the past.
Indeed.
They're kind of hilarious.
Yeah, mostly it's usually that coupled with a very late to get green pendant. It's like, okay, so I couldn't have gotten these any earlier. Dang it.
So this chest here in the south area of Swamp, this is normally the compass, right?
I think so.
Yeah, which is what it is today.
Yeah, because the map is in that first one that you bomb the wall to.
Right.
And then they troll you with your next bombable wall, and it just leads to a corner of the big chest room.
Yep. I see what you did there. If it was vanilla boots, they would be kicking themselves.
Indeed, indeed.
Good job. Good job, Irish Ouija. And here we go. So, dragonc0 heading down. There's the map.
And some
3
bombs.
bombs.
We
Blueberries in a box. Alright, so time to head to the back. The backside of
Indeed.
Swamp Palace has 4 additional locations. 3 chests and Argus himself, one of which at this point is guaranteed to have the big key.
Right, yeah, having not picked it up, he's got to pass by the big chest.
Dragon figuring out the fact that he does not have it. I keep wanting to say dragonc0, but I don't know if that's what he wants to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just call him Dragon.
Dragon works.
Word. Dragon works hard. Alright. There is that big key. And now when you see it here, I found many players will do as Dragon seems to be and just head on back to that big chest. It's really not that far to go. And you can just continue on right after that.
And once again, getting trolled by that glitch staircase.
Right. When you sort of spawn in after going upstairs, you're in the exit box, and so you go back down, as if you forgot something. There's a powder.
There's my favorite item.
Dr. Bob, you
do not have a problem.
Dr. Bob, you have a problem.
You do not have a problem. I can stop anytime I want.
You just don't want.
Yeah, why would you? Powder's so good.
Yeah, need something to deal with the dead rocks anyway. All right. 2 locations left. And
There's the
mitts.
Titan's mitts!
Oh, man.
Right there in swamp.
All right. Pedestal has dropped to can be boots if needed.
Yeah, pedestal is now the number of required items that can be on pedestal is 0.52. And I say that on account of there's a 50% chance that desert is boot locked and a roughly 5-ish% chance that Ganon's Tower is boots locked.
Right.
So book could be on pedestal, but again, that book could only lead to required boots. If it's the only required item it could lead to.
Right. The bow being needed to get one of our pendants means that can't be there. That's the other major go mode item they're missing at this point.
Bamboo Shadow Ice Rod was on Mothula.
Indeed. The dragon finishing up Argus, easy peasy. Makinx gonna be right behind him.
Indeed. And there we go.
Yeah.
To be honest, right now, I might, if I were these runners, well, Dragon's grabbing the Quake Medallion, which is a great idea. And then at that point, I might flute to 6.
Yeah,
just to see if, see what the mire is, and maybe check to see if Desert is boot locked.
Yeah, you know, it's a good move, and I think we're gonna end up seeing that unless one of these guys really wants to dip Ice Palace already.
Yep, that looks like that's what Dragon's doing.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's got 3 items to Myers 2. And maybe you like to have the bow for fighting Mitrix. So there's that. Because he is also at a disadvantage on swords.
I like to go to Mire when I can beat it, because it's just, you know, it's going to be about the same either way.
Right. Yeah, based on big key location, it's often true that the go mode is the same as the full clear.
And of course, when you can combine it with Desert, that makes it even better.
Absolutely.
The other missing sword is in Sahasrala's hut, which Dragon has not been to. Yep, so Makinx is heading to 6.
And so we're going to see a little divergence here, and we'll see who pays off.
If that was a bottle, it was the 4th.
Yeah, that was the 4th bottle in the game. I'm not sure if which ones Dragon himself has picked up, but we had a bottle in the ferry and Ice Palace for number 4.
Alright, so just a couple rupees in the Mire shed.
Looks like he'll go for a checkerboard. His Dragon, knowing he has to clear this, doesn't bother with the bomb jump in Ice Palace.
Yeah, the Ice Rod at Mothula is a huge play for Makinx, and I don't know if Dragon is going to be able to recover from that, but we'll see.
That's gonna take some time.
I think what Dragon has to hope for is that the bow is here in Ice Palace.
Yeah, whether he realizes that or not.
Alright, so Makinx, as I expected, is going to check Desert first.
Yeah, I'd say this is a solid play. This dungeon is a lot more straightforward and a little bit easier to do. And so you may as well just kind of knock it out.
Alright, so there's the big key on the torch, so yes, we are boots locked in
Boots
Desert.
locked DP. Oh boy.
So now, the number of required items that could be on pedestal rises to 1 instead of 0.52. Alright, so Makinx will be heading over to the right side of Desert. There'll be 2 chests in here that can be checked, and that will be it. There's the mushroom. Alright, so I expect a flute to 2 in Makinx's future. Maybe not immediately, but or maybe,
yeah, you're gonna want to turn that in,
yeah.
or maybe work it in on a catfish.
He's going to the right-hand side here with Agonist Cave, so that may actually happen directly after going to Agonist Cave.
Right, he's gonna have to flute anyway to get back up to the ledge for Meyer, if that is in fact where he wants to go.
Yeah, for all we know, he may decide to go to Ice or wherever.
Just $50.
Mhm.
He's gonna save quit. Interesting. Go to the mountain.
And once again, remember, Dragon has not been to the back of Escape, doesn't have the lamp.
Yeah, this is perhaps a big choke point for him, whether he's comfortable with the dark rooms or not, just logically routing things.
So that may be why he's avoided Meyer.
It's true. Alright.
The Meyer Dark Room is actual garbage.
Yeah, they're some of the toughest ones in the game. Yeah, we see Bombos was the requirement for Meyer. Each of our runners already having all 3 medallions makes this, just make sure you menu to the right one.
Mm-hmm. Did Makinx turn in the mushroom?
He did not. He came right back after save and quit. Alright, and we got a cold stare fight starting for Dragon C. Well, I'm sure I missed a couple of things. It doesn't look like Ice Palace has paid off for anything more than the eventual crystal.
Yeah.
Alright, and he's got a bit of a tough fight ahead of him now as he has the Master Sword. Patiently line up and try to... Well, he is doubling up on those spins, which is really nice. And finishes it off clean.
And just big 20 again. And Ice Palace is a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, he's got the crystal, if nothing else, but he was really hoping for some progression there. As we get a fire shield out of Misery Mire for Makinx. And there's a number of fireball shooters in this dungeon, so it's a pretty good place to find it.
Yep, I do love me some fire shield. One of these days, I'm gonna be doing a randomizer, and there'll be some situation that gives me 500 rupees, and I somehow need to be near the one shop that sells a fire shield, and I will buy that thing. It won't reset. You know, you won't pick up the mirror shield off of your first shield find if you do that.
Right.
But
Alright,
I
there's
want
big
to.
key.
I want to find a seed somewhere. It'll probably have to be an entrance shuffle, where it is actually the correct move to buy the fire shield for 500 rupees.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise that specialty shop is a bit out of the way. Alright. Looks like Makinx is going to be making his way over to this big chest now.
Meanwhile, Dragon is following in Makin's footsteps, heading into desert.
Indeed.
And so Makinx is now going to be disappointed in that he has to head to everybody's favorite waiting room.
Yep. Wanting to do his diligence here. I do see some runners eschew this and try Vitreous. I think he's at a 50-50 chance at this point. He still has to find the map and one more item.
Alright, so Makinx going to light these torches and start the 14-second cutscene that lasts 14 years.
Right. I'm gonna see a Wizrobe die of old age there, waiting through that scene. And it's a 10 arrow upgrade.
10 arrow upgrade.
Which means we've got our third boss burrito of the seed coming up.
Boss burrito. I don't think I would eat the burrito that Vitreous dropped. Just you know, for safety's sake.
Yeah. I mean, the goo's harmful just to stand in. I can't imagine what happens if you eat it.
Yeah, seems pretty good. Seems pretty legit. That being said, I now want to see somebody like Taco Bell come out with something called the Boss Burrito.
That would be pretty goofy.
So Makinx actually did a pretty solid play when he went back for the vanilla big key chest. He flipped the switch again.
Interesting.
So that he wouldn't have to do the cane switch in the previous room.
Yeah, that's real smart. Definitely one of the signs of some higher level play too. Not a lot of runners thinking about, oh, gee, what state am I in? What state do I need to be in terms of those? We're gonna see some cape strats here.
Cape and butter sword. So you just get in there, activate the cape, and just start slashing.
Wow, and even getting some hits on the big eye to start.
Yep. Because the butter sword does the same damage with spin or slash, so there's no reason to spin. And also, slashing reduces the amount of magic that drains the from the cape. So you're killing two birds with one stone there.
Indeed.
And about 8 eyes with one sword.
Quite so. Wow. Hard to believe that's only the third crystal for these guys. They've been doing a ton of work. Dragon will be at 4, having cleared out Ice Palace beforehand.
And it looks like Makinx will be making play on the Dark World Death Mountain.
Yeah, having those mitts now has the Hookshot Cave and the Super Bunny Cave, as we call it, open to them here on the east side.
And then, of course, Turtle Rock itself.
Right, and now that that's open, probably see him jump in because, hey, you've got the stuff to clear it. You've got Butter Sword, so, like, Trinex is going to go down easy.
And he's going to have the bow.
So we'll have to see.
Yep.
But you figure plays for crystals, generally not bad. Even, for example, the Ice Palace play by Dragon. It was time, but it was time that Makinx is going to be taking later anyway. It's just a matter of whether or not he gets to go mode that dungeon.
Yeah. So this is why I kind of like the Turtle Rock play, because it allows you to potentially go mode ice.
Right. Where Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons like Meyer, where your go mode and your full clear are about the same. But how about that? Quake required for Turtle Rock, so making the stop on the island, definitely beneficial. Also, that is the vanilla, as far as I remember, for Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Makinx will first go into the Super Bunny Cave. Be a real quick check here.
Yeah, not having to do the usual rigmarole of climbing and dropping or glitching out blocks.
Right, so...
The Riot Shield.
Riot Shield.
Nice.
So that's going to make Laser Bridge real easy.
Indeed. Meanwhile, we got Dragon's going to make the play over to Pod here.
Oh boy.
And depending on what's here, this could potentially lead to some making up of the time that's going to be lost before he gets into Skull Woods.
So yeah, Dragon's going to need to figure out what's going on with Pod pretty quick, because much of Pod is locked behind the bow.
This is true. He might not be able to actually do any of this, but he is going to visit Sahasrara.
Alright, so he's going to pick up a sword upgrade here, and
a heart.
A piece of heart from the green pendant.
Alright. Dragon not bothering to finish Meyer without the lamp, I see. I have to admit my attention was somewhat on our other runner.
Alright. So Makinx going to be heading into the next area where we will find 2 chests. One containing a small key, the other containing 10 arrows.
Which he cannot use.
Yep. So he opted to go to that room first, it looks like. A lot of players will opt to go to this other room on the left first.
Right, yeah. Usually the play, see? And of course, lately, players coming in here without Fire Rod, for instance, and having to make this play. But we did see Dragon pick up a key from the first chest in Pod, so now he's going to be able to check out the rest. Well, a good chunk of the rest of this dungeon. Still requiring the bow to get down to Helmassar.
Yep. And, it was not completely bow locked, so that helps.
Indeed. Depending on what it holds,
Dragon will be checking the vanilla big key chest. Just 5 bomb upgrade. a small key. Meaning Dragon can go into the back section of Pod.
And it looks like he's gonna make good on that.
Though at this point, we know he will not find the bow.
Right. And a somewhat delayed reaction on the bunny beam there for Makinx as he gets that sword spin in to finish things off in that room. Gets a vanilla big key.
Mm-hmm.
Carries on.
Now, Dragon also will not be finding the lamp here, so we will be seeing some dark rooms.
Indeed. And
Hey, there are the silver arrows. So that's
something.
actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Whenever this bow does come up, Dragon's gonna have a little bit easier time putting it to work on things like the Ganon's Tower ascent and, of course, the final fight.
Yeah. If and when he
Have
does finish
magic.
off Vitreous, that'll be a big deal too.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so Dragon will be opening the dark maze, and this will be the last thing he can do here in Pod.
Meanwhile, we're getting our Mimic Cave check. For a big 10 bomb upgrade. He really wishes it was something better.
Yep. All right, so checking the big chest, I assume.
And he didn't have the big key. Oof.
I was actually referring to Makinx checking the big chest, but
Oh.
that also works.
Yeah, he did have the big key.
Now, Dragon will be making the first play that we have seen into Eastern Palace.
Right, yeah, neither runner opting for what is a somewhat usual early dip. And who knows,
they got
we might
so
have had
many
some of our
items.
stuff.
They got so many items pointing them elsewhere.
Right, yeah, it's pretty easy to justify abandoning the original routing. Oh, and there goes that single arrow.
Yeah, if Eastern Palace has the bow, that's kind of huge.
Yeah, it would have been pretty weird. And, you know, vanilla dungeon item in randomizers considered a bit trolly because you expect it to be randomized. There's a much greater chance it's somewhere else. So, wouldn't be surprised if it takes Makinx a bit to decide to dive in.
Mm-hmm. So far, just the single arrow. And all right, so the laser bridge.
Had a map and 20 bucks. Along with a compass.
And let's see what the last chest is.
If it keeps up at this rate, it's going to be a heart piece. It's the bow!
It's the bow!
Well, you
on the
called it
last
earlier.
chest in laser bridge. Well, I said Tridex, but
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Close enough, though. Wow.
Off by one, I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's huge. Of course, both
This
of our
is
runners
not
knowing they
go
need
mode.
the boots.
No.
They need the boots. So this is not go mode. And depending on where those boots are located, this is really anybody's race still. Like, Dragon has a couple of more plays he needs to make that we know about, but nobody knows where the boots are.
I'm thinking it'll be hilarious if the boots are in this chest that Dragon's about to come up on. Or if they're on Trinex.
Oh, geez, if they're on Trinex,
So
then-
either one at this
Yeah.
point would be pretty hilarious. Making very quick work of those first two heads. Not
Very
quite
nice.
getting the zero cycle, but really good work.
Yeah, my understanding is that you actually need boots to do that. But the second
You have to
phase
go to the
goes down
backside.
easy. All right.
That's just the burrito in Eastern Palace.
And a heart piece for Makinx.
So an Eastern burrito, I believe, is called an egg roll.
I'd agree with that.
Shout out to Big John.
Indeed. Or how about a spring roll? All right, so timely heart piece for Makinx as he gets his health refill there. Saves some precious frames in that refill scene. And is Dragon going to Skull Woods? Nope.
He's going
Heading
somewhere.
south. Meanwhile, Makinx looks like he's gonna probably go visit the hospital and turn in the green. And having the bow is gonna hop right into Eastern.
Yep, he'll go finish Eastern Palace. Going fast is exactly what we need here. We need the boots.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. I guess the mushroom hasn't been addressed either.
It's true. We haven't gotten a shovel yet. I don't think anyone's gone to Batcave. Meanwhile, we're getting our grave check here.
Many like singleton items with fetch quests and such haven't been checked.
Right. The progression has just been in the dungeons for a lot of this, and so Makinx is doing what he can.
Just bombs on the graveyard ledge.
Right. And he's going for escape. That's going to be good news. Kind of wish he would have went to Kingston first, but... Oh, wait, no, need boots.
I don't even think they've done Smiths yet, let alone Lunchbox.
Right, yeah. So we'll probably see the Peg Cave. There's Lamp for Dragon.
Dragon hesitated ever so slightly, like, really?
Just, I wonder if we'll see him head right back to Meyer to finish that off. Putting that hook shot to work.
What is Dragon doing?
I am curious.
Oh, probably Pyramid Catfish?
I guess so.
I mean, you wouldn't go back into Pod right now. You've already been there.
Right, and what you need is the
Cleared it
bow.
out.
Yeah, it looks like you were right. Pyramid and Catfish. Which now you mention it, we haven't had the pyramid check either. We could have Boots just hanging out on the side of the big gold ledge.
So we do not know anything about the pedestal because we have no book.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing we know is that Makinx is in way better shape to eventually get there right now.
Yep. We know that Mothula has the ice rod, which is a huge deal for Dragon.
Right. Because he can't do that Turtle Rock. Well, he can't kill Trinex anyway. He could get all the way to the bow, but nobody wants to make
And he could end up going to Turtle Rock, getting all the way to the bow, not getting there and being like, is ice rod in Pod or something like that.
Right, and end up going.
Go back
to
and do that and get disappointed as well.
Indeed. All right, we're gonna see the mushroom check here from Dragon, putting that mirror to work in a smart way.
Alright, so handing in the mushroom. Meanwhile, Makinx will be finishing out Eastern Palace. We'll get to see what's on Armos.
Indeed, and just $5 for the mushroom, so there's that.
No empty bottles. Buys one blue potion, and that's good enough right now. And there's another key for Makinx heading up to Armos. Dragon gonna give us a catfish check. Catfish can be a pretty big deal.
Certainly can. Will it be today? Let's see. Just 10
Nope.
arrows. Wow, and he even snuck a pause in there on that. I didn't think he could do it.
Zora has been checked, just a love lesson. And what does Zarmos have? Just big love.
Yep, another one of those Neapolitan items. Plenty of those in the game, and you get one there. And Deadrock's getting in the way of Dragon now. And as you've often said, everybody wants to kill those squirrels.
Correct. I'm almost done with the lyrics for that.
I'm anxious to hear them.
I think I have to, like, actually do some of my job first, though, so.
Aw, shucks.
Alright, so Makinx will be making the play into ice. We know what we'll find here, a whole lot of diddly.
Right, just a crystal and cold stare. But it's a crystal he can complete, so, say it's pretty good play. The only thing that slightly improved would be being able to go mode it.
Yep. And as predicted, Dragon will likely be heading to Turtle Rock before heading to Mothula, which will send him toward Pod again and Eastern and, a whole lot of disappointment.
Right. And there's the fourth bottle from Makinx.
Yeah.
Not
the others. We know that the other two items here are just big 20s, so.
Right. So yeah, it feels like a reasonable suspicion to think somewhere in the Smith's lunchbox, peg cave, bat cave area, we will find our go mode item.
Yep. And once again, Pedestal is live.
It's true.
So Dragon's actually going to the Spike Cave, so he's gonna pick up Butter.
Yeah, gonna close that sword gap.
Dragon has basically cleared Pod, DT, minus the bow-locked section. I could see Makin, after this, going into Pod. He's missing this bomb jump.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, that's 2 pixels on the line there. Oh no, he got it.
Nope.
Nice.
I'm bad at looking.
Well, truth be told, I only know one setup for that. I think there's like a set of 4 pixels.
I think it's 6.
Ah.
You have two vertical pixels and 3 horizontal pixels.
Interesting.
Wait, no, I'm making that up. It's 1 vertical pixel. No. Okay, it's 6 vertical pixels from where you can drop the bomb. Or 6 pixels from where you can drop the bomb. It's only 1 vertical pixel where you can stand.
Gotcha.
Says the guy who is 0-4 in the secondary tournament. I am straight garbage at this game, so take every bit of advice I say with a grain of salt. And Dragon is, in fact, making the play on Turtle Rock.
Yep, here he goes. Gonna make the dive in. Gonna pick up that bow, and who knows where it's gonna take him. He's got a couple of options that'll open up for him. Having the silvers in the lamp, wonderful go exact revenge in Mire and finish that off. Having turned away from the dark.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I made the prediction that Dragon would go into Turtle Rock first, only because it's really the the reasonable play.
Right.
Right. So I'm not going to discount Dragon for doing this. It's the right play, given what he knows. It's just going to be unfortunate.
Right, yeah, it's not a bad play, just the wrong.
Right.
Let's get a big chest, big 20 for Makinx, but we already knew about that.
So shortly we should see Cold Stare get wrecked. But Makinx is going to hashtag that one chest first.
Looks like it.
It's called that one chest because you got to go out of your way to get to it, no matter what you're doing. It's also called the jelly chest because jellies appear next to it. And making good use of that powder. Pick up a fairy right before you head over here.
Yeah, timely use.
Also right before Cold Stare. And he is electing to head up this way to head back to Cold Stare rather than backtrack, and that seems good.
Yeah, I guess that is the shorter path of the two. Head over here for some magic refills. Should end up with full magic dropping in as there are two more in the room to the south.
Yep. I don't know if you would. I think with butter, you'll probably fire rod strats.
Yeah, start off with the fire rod, or maybe with the quick kill. Because, I mean, you could spin him into the corner and then butter and fire do the same thing. And he's going to burn all the magic anyway.
Right, that's what I was talking about. Fire rod to break the shell
gotcha.
instead of bombos.
Okay, I misunderstood.
With like Master Sword, I would probably use bombos to break the shell and then use fire rod to deal a little more damage to the puffballs.
Right. Now I understand, and as we saw, he just absolutely destroyed Cold Stare with that butter sword.
All right. So Dragon will be heading to the Mimic Cave in the latter half of Turtle Rock, where we know he'll pick up the bow.
Indeed.
So Makinx, I believe, will be doing something that we might have neglected to think about.
The Fat Fairy check. Or the Pyramid Fairy, rather.
Mm-hmm. I think Fat Fairy is actually what she's called in the text of the game. So that's why I don't feel bad talking about Fat Fairy.
Fair enough. Or fairy enough, if you prefer.
Fairy enough indeed.
Brought our pumpkin-colored friend in tow, we make our way to the Pyramid of Power, with hopes of finding some fancy new shoes.
Yep. Very much so. Alright, we're gonna drop off this large bomb. It's very interesting. This large bomb is extremely destructive and yet actually deals no damage to you.
Right, the explosion is huge, but you can see many runners will just stand there if they've already checked the pyramid. 5 arrows and...
There they are!
Ooh.
What are those? Boots acquired. We are in go mode.
Oh, and the goest of modes, since we can go fast. Alright, it's Flute 6. Do a little warping around and get right back in the desert. Big key and gone.
Yep, we're going straight to desert. And we will just walk right over, pick up that big key, and then head straight to Land Molas.
There's the bow for Dragon. Gonna head out of this safety door, lacking the ice rod to finish Trinex. Oh.
Alright, so Makinx heading up to Land Molas. This will be a quick fight, and we don't even care what he drops.
Right. And in fact, we know the only other sort of convenience item that he could drop won't be picked up from Makinx. Or I guess the 2, as Chad asks about half magic. It's in the same dungeon as the Silver's pod.
Yep. They're also rather close to each other.
Right. Yeah, and with no real reason to go get them, I'm sure he's comfortable with a Silverless Ganon fight.
Yep. The difference between Silverless and Silvers is about a minute, I'd say. It's not a whole lot of time.
Right. And with the gold sword, you're gonna get through this first 2 phases super fast either way.
Yeah. It cuts through Ganon like a hot knife through butter. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know what butter is anymore.
Yeah. And Makinx is melting down those Moldorms with the fire rod strats.
And that is Makinx picking up his 7th crystal. And we all know what that means.
Indeed.
It's time to guess for the big key. And in addition, you'll note that we've started a little bot situation where if you are a supporter of this channel, or of the Speed Gaming Network in some way, either through a subscription or through a 250-bit donation, you may enter your guess in chat and it will count towards the leaderboard.
That is right, and we're gonna go ahead and stop the entry once Link gets into Ganon's Tower. We don't want anybody cheating in any late guesses that aren't 1s and 2s.
Yep. And as always, I choose number 14, which toward the the normal routing is Bob's chest.
Right.
You know, because
gotta stick with the name.
Yep.
And important to note, if you're interested in getting on the leaderboards, it has to be a number. We will not be able to recognize things like Tile Room and Torch.
Right. Now, unfortunately, dragonc0's checking some more overworld, so that's gonna make his finish even later.
Little love for dragonc.
And that will close the guessing as Makinx enters Ganon's tower. 300 rupees in the first chest, and Cane of Brian. So we will not be seeing a right side check. Not yet, anyway.
Alright, so that's 2 down. Torch counts as number 3 here.
Small key on the torch, rip me.
Yep, bye Bob.
Oh.
And Dragon's gonna go check that last chest.
Interesting. I guess I was wrong. I thought the key was down there. Alright, so Dragon gets bombs there in the small chest, the dark chest.
Right, and a bug net for Makinx here out of chest number 8. Or, yeah, number 8. And Dragon's gonna make his way back over to Pod.
The boots were at Fat Fairy, so you have to finish Misery Mire first to go get them. Yeah, and they were bow locked by Easter.
Right. Alright, so that's 10, 11, and number 13.
There it is, and lucky 13.
And congrats to Warakas, or however one might say that name. I apologize for butchering it. You're now number 14 on the leaderboard with a Price is Right win. The closest without going over.
Yeah, closest without going over, because I was like, man, I guess 14. I've already gotten a few wins.
Fair enough.
Because every single race I had yesterday had the big key in the vanilla chest.
Oh, man.
Which is right after Bob's.
Right. And if nobody guesses 15, then a winner is you. Makinx making quick work of that first room of the gauntlet here at about an hour and 34 minutes.
Oh yeah, real fast run through here.
Lambo 2 incoming, here we go. Taking huge knockback from the spin strats. Getting 2.5 Lambos down.
Yeah, the idea with the spin there is, easily hit multiple Landmolas at the same time. Unfortunately, didn't do that much for you.
Right, yeah, that knockback can be just ridiculous sometimes.
Oh, I just love these Wizrobe rooms.
I know. They're the best. Get to see what the cane was really meant for.
Yeah, who cares if it makes blocks to hold down switches?
Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as fun as multi-killing enemies.
Multi-kill. Alright, so no danger of despawn there, and Makinx will be heading through this door, not even checking any chests along the way, no need to.
Yeah, he's got the keys he needs.
I feel like in his situation, he will open the Moldorm 2 chest.
Right. Yeah, last chest in the game, and you'll take a chance to see if, you know, if you can get those silver arrows, it makes your end fight all the nicer. Ooh, missing the dash there, nearly getting off the platform.
Almost getting trolled by Trolldorm. And burrito it is.
Oh, man.
Tower burrito also sounds like it would be incredibly amazing.
Right. Alright,
like,
so we're getting into our Aga 2 fight. Another little guessing game we play. How many blue balls is Aghanim gonna throw?
who knows?
Oh, baby!
Nice! Pretty sure that counted all 3.
I heard it. Wow!
Oh, double, triple! Eat your heart out, Michael Jordan.
Oh man, if you guessed 0, you won the blue ball game. There was not even a chance. Also, nice Michael Jordan joke. Wow! The double trip from Makinx.
It works 2 ways.
Yeah,
Number 23, and he's famous for triple doubles.
right. Giving us a little slug lesson as we begin this slug fest between Makinx and the big pig himself, Ganon.
So 6 slashes per phase. This is real simple.
Right.
And Makinx gets those 6 slashes in, and he's like, I can count. I don't need to do any more slashes.
Sometimes runners at this point just go until the bat circle starts moving a little bit. Shout outs to Derptastrophe for getting that clipped. That was just a fantastic execution on that Aga 2 fight.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Working his way through phase 3. You always want to get your sword swinging before Ganon gets the chance to jump, because nobody likes to deal with rings of fire.
Not even Johnny Cash.
Indeed.
Doing the silverless strats for no reason. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have silvers. What am I talking about? I was like, wait.
Doing silverless strats for all the reasons.
For all of the reasons.
But he does get this torch glitch, which does help out significantly. If you can get that right torch lit before the left one goes out, left one stays lit forever.
Yep. And the lamp helps you conserve that magic. So I find that the key to silverless Ganon is patience, really.
Right. Between that and just knowing where to line up your spins, because as we saw earlier, even on the Lambo 2 fight, that knockback is something serious.
Right. You don't want to get knocked into the hole on the side. But the silverless, the main thing is making sure to dodge the fire bat.
Indeed.
Oof.
And we get the pedestal check from Dragon during this Ganon fight. And GG Makinx. Absolutely burning that one up.
Well done.
All he's got to do is cross the bridge.
And there we go. Makinx finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 32 seconds.
Yeah, just an absolutely awesome finish to this run. And, I mean, even making the call on Pyramid Fairy, I think everyone in chat and between the two of us, we can agree, like, it was something we hadn't considered.
Yep.
Because usually when a dungeon like Mire is one of the crystals that's usually towards the end of the game, and you kind of just mentally factor it out. But now Dragon finally making this play onto Skull Woods. Well, just one order of business here with this Gibdo before he heads into Mothula.
Dragon will be experiencing a great deal of frustration shortly.
Indeed, and not for what is usually a trolly Mothula fight, but rather its reward. He'll be able to make his long trip back into Turtle Rock after this. Of course, he can then do it at his leisure and will likely route it into GT. Down
He's
goes
still gotta
Moth.
finish Mire and get the boots.
It's true.
So we'll see about getting our winner in here to talk about that run.
Yeah. Certainly do want to.
First thing first, I'm gonna congratulate him on that double triple.
Oh, absolutely. That was, whew, a sight to see. And then a solid Silverless Ganon fight to boot. Along with, I mean, really, it was to me, everything from the Pyramid Fairy play on was just lightning.
Yep, very much so. Though I thought Agatu didn't do lightning. Sorry.
Not this time. It was already provided by Makinx.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're going to see the Smiths plays out of Dragon.
We'll probably see, Smiths and Peg Cave and Lunchbox, all sorts of things.
Yep. Yeah, I believe you visited the Bat earlier for just, it was $5 or a little love.
I think we'll pull the red mail out of one of these. What do you think?
It seems about right. There's not that much left.
There's another 300 rupees.
Righto.
And it looks like our winner is in the waiting room, so I'm going to bring him in.
Makinx, GG.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Hey, first things first.
Yeah.
Sick double triple, dude.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah,
Cool,
that was
yeah.
great.
Took perfect advantage of that setup and drove that thing home.
Yeah, that kind of made up for Moldorm.
we got a bit worried on that one. Or I was thinking Moldorm too. You missed a dash, and then we're like, oh no, is he gonna fall? But now I remember your first taking the double fall.
The double fall in Hera, yeah.
Yeah.
That cost me a good minute.
Yeah. Indeed, you definitely made it up with the Agatu fight for sure.
Yeah, so that was nice.
Absolutely.
That was a pretty good run, I would say.
Oh yeah, I would say so too. I mean, for some of what ended up being the item locations and for the order they were retrieved in, I think we had kind of forgotten about Pyramid Fairy when you went to do it, and so we both got pretty excited.
Yeah, and it turned out to have the boots, so that was nice.
Yeah,
Just what I needed.
indeed.
Yeah, I did a lot of overworld stuff at the start of the race, and after that, I think I just went dungeon diving.
That seemed like the
I-
play to be making too, and it just kept paying off.
Yeah, dungeon diving really worked out this time, except maybe for Thieves Town. I don't think Thieves Town had anything. Oh, the cape. It had the cape.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
the
the
most
cape.
remarkable item was the cape, which I guess in
Yeah.
theory led you to Buttersword.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
you know, you going to Mothula was a huge deal.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I
Well,
think
and
Dragon just finished Mothula.
about less than 10 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. So he didn't have the ice rod all this time.
Yeah, and he has the bow, so that'll tell you kind of how he routed.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
That's an unfortunate double dip.
for sure.
Yeah.
He's
But,
also
uh,
double dipping Meyer because he didn't have the lamp when he went in.
Oh, and no fire rod. Or what?
Oh,
No, he just
oh,
doesn't
he
like
just-
dark rooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's a pretty annoying dark room if you never practice it.
yeah, definitely. And then with the fireball shooters, sometimes even if you have practiced, it just
Yeah, if they keep
you
hitting
lose
you,
your
then
rhythm.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Never skip pendant dungeons. can
Except
have
for
some
Palace of
value.
Darkness, apparently.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess. Yeah, I had that on my mind. You know, if I was thinking, should I do overworld stuff or should I just go into pod?
Well, you missed out on silvers and half for what it's worth.
Okay. Well, I don't really miss that.
No, not with a now 3-2 record and a chance to plain qualify for the bracket, or at worst, you're going to be in the playoff now. So congrats for that.
Yeah, thanks. That's a really good feeling.
Yeah,
Very happy with that.
You're good.
yeah.
So 3-2. Is there anybody you're hoping to play or not play against next week?
I'm not really sure who's in there with 3-2, with a 3-2 record. I don't really mind playing anyone. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just for fun, really.
Indeed.
And if I face like a really good guy like Andy, you know, so be it.
And well, I mean, this tournament has shown that with the growth in our community, we're certainly at no want for talent. Like we've seen some people we've considered, invincible fall to like 1 and 2 or something, and then we see some of the familiars and some of the new faces in the 4-0 and 5-0 club. So it's really it's still anybody's tournament as long as you get out of the stage.
Yeah, anyone could beat anyone, really.
Yeah.
With Rando.
Absolutely.
That's the fun part about it. You know, it's no fun if basically the win is predetermined. So
Right.
anyone can win.
Indeed. Well, that's awesome. Any other thoughts on the seed? Any favorite moments?
Favorite moments? I don't know. Finding the boots real quick was nice. And
Yeah.
of course, the double triple was maybe the best the best part of it.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you feeling pretty
Ah.
good getting into that Ganon fight, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Everything worked out for me, so I'm very happy.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
But and so we just got Dragon making his way through this basement now. Gonna go fight Vitreous. He's got his silver, so
You still got a ways to go, I see. Yeah.
yeah. The holding off on Skullwoods really put a kink in his run.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
So there's the 8 bonks, I assume most of which were intentional.
Yeah, with the late boots.
Yeah.
In just over 3 minutes of menu time, that's pretty solid.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I stumbled around in the menu a bit sometimes. I
I
don't
did
know.
notice at one point there was I guess it's like the book and the shovel, or not the shovel, something missing in the bottom right, and trying to get to the mirror was really difficult.
Yeah, Kata Burna and the book were. I didn't have those until
Right.
Burna was like the second item in GT.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, then I mess up in the menu a lot when there's holes in it.
Yeah, it's tricky. There's like all those goofy rules of like, oh well, if you cover this gap, it's gonna take you to the end of the row, so it's the next row, and who knows.
Yeah,
But,
it does.
yeah.
It does make sense, but I don't know. It just
yeah, there are things that one masters first.
yeah, exactly. I don't really care.
Right. But we do thank you for joining us, and you are free to stick around, but do understand if you have to be going.
I will go do something else, like get a nice beverage.
Yeah, you
Celebrate.
earned it after this.
You deserve
awesome
it.
run.
Have fun with that.
Yep,
Thank you,
good luck
guys.
in the rest of the tournament.
Yes, thank you for commenting.
And if you enjoyed Makinx's run, be sure to give him a follow.
Thanks for that. See you guys later.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Good luck.
And Dragon is now making the correct play. He finished
Alright,
Meyer
yeah,
and he's
gonna do
going
the
straight
bomb.
for Fat Fairy.
Oh, and almost takes that jump. He would have had to run up to defuse it.
Yep. And off we go to the pyramid.
Alright. And here it comes. Does he go left or right first?
And go mode.
Woo! Alright, and so he's down to Desert Palace and Turtle Rock, which we'll likely see in that order.
Dragon acquires go mode and heads toward Desert Palace. Yeah, the hammer is absolutely definitely required.
Right, there aren't enough pendants to scramble around to make it unrequired.
Interestingly enough, it can be not required in entrance shuffle.
Right, because hammer's actually only needed for Turtle Rock for entry. And so if that gets scrambled in such a way as you don't need it, and you get your pendants elsewhere, then it doesn't even matter where they are at that point. But there's also a number of wider cases, if I understand right, Bob.
Yeah.
With the doors getting all mixed around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Entrance shuffle is really strange.
indeed. But yeah, you always need your hammer, always need your hook shot by the logic, you know. The hovering's a thing, but it's never expected of you. Lamp. On account of the number of dungeons with dark rooms, I think.
Always required. Bow always required because you have to use it to get up Ganon's tower.
Correct. Yep.
The Cane of Samaria is almost always required.
Oh no, Dragon forgot to go bonk for the big key. Oh no. You know, I didn't even notice either, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'd get excited after grabbing the boots, like, alright, I can do desert.
Right.
And forgetting the entire reason that you need the boots to do desert.
Right. We had some asks in chat about the schedule for the rest of the day. We've got at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Ninjembro versus Feral Pigman here on Speed Gaming 1. At 2 p.m., Gem versus Pika Pals, which is a sort of grudge match of the Entrance Shuffle tournament finals.
It's the rematch of the finals there.
Indeed. That'll be on Speed Gaming 2. Then at 3 p.m., Gamer Cal vs. Rywek on Speed Gaming. 5:30 on Speed Gaming 2, it's Yuka Bonk and Willard J. Bradley. And then finishing off the main tournament for the night, we have Triple Z versus Patty, aka P Cole 44444 on Speed Gaming.
Mhm. And those will be the last matches for this week because the week was set up to be short, as will next week, because it will run from Sunday through Friday. And then we will have the big tiebreaker match. I think, what is it, Sunday afternoon?
I think so.
Or Saturday afternoon, I don't remember. Alright, so while we're doing this, Dragon finishes off Landmolus, starting to shoot some arrows. Shoots off a silver arrow, but doesn't actually use them to kill Landmolus.
Right.
Forfeiting here in the Swiss would not hurt you in any way, but later on in the group stages it would.
Right, at this point, it's all just matching records, and then with what will be a huge tie between runners with 3-3 records, then you have that playoff. So that's the way that is resolved.
I think if there's one thing we've learned from Dragon today, it's always flute responsibly.
Indeed.
If he comes in for an interview, I think I will refrain from asking him about the flippers.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be a matter of frustration. And no, Dragon's not playing by himself. He had an opponent who finished about 17 minutes ago at this point, but it was noted that his stream was going to begin changing to something that was not Randomizer, so figured better to take it down.
Right. And here we go. Dragon heads into Turtle Rock. Gonna finish this off.
Yep, he just needs to make the big dive all the way down to Trinex. He's already got the key for the door. And El Magus pointing out some good advice. Finishing is always good. Don't let the game win over you. Right.
Indeed.
Got to beat these games. Can't let the big pig win.
So what happened with the flippers was Dragon went to get them. They were on the race game. So he started the race game, went to pick them up, talked to the guy who let you through, and then blew the flute because he figured he'd grab the flippers and then let the duck pick him up, but he didn't actually grab the flippers.
Yeah, and our understanding is this is actually due to code in the game. Like, he walked through the flippers because you're not allowed to pick them up while the ducks come.
Yeah. And so he walked over, he flew back to 3 to go get them again, and while he was doing so, he was basically jamming on the Y button to show his frustration, and he accidentally did that during the race game and got fluted away again.
Oh my. Yeah, so that ends up being a key point in this match, unfortunately.
Yeah, believe you me, it is possible for some of these runs to be 7 hours. Not in this tournament. But in the secondary tournament, there are a lot of newer players, and that can occur.
Indeed.
I know this from experience. All right, so Dragon heading into Trinex. Looking for a effective place to show off some jewelry. Trinex.
Oh, that's fantastic. Down goes Trinex. Let's see if we get this back up. All right, there we go.
All right. So, Dragon will be heading to Ganon's Tower. You all can throw in your guesses again if you've forgotten, but it's number 13. So, there you go. You win.
So there's that.
So, the big key will be at in the rando room. It could actually be anywhere from 10 to 13, depending on when he picks it up.
Suppose that's true.
Yeah. There is a route in which it's 22. It's not a great route, but he could pick these up, then go to the left side, do the Dark Magician route, and go all the way through to Ice Armos, and then go back to the left side and pick up it is the last chest. He would also have to do Tile Room.
Right. Yeah, so that would be an amazingly unusual route, but
oh, I get
you
to
know
live
what?
this time.
What's that?
I said I get to live this time.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't bonk the torch.
Yeah. Hi, Bob.
Though we'll likely not see Bob.
Indeed. Shoutouts to our tracker, Jighart.
Mm-hmm.
Been working what has been a very item-filled seed, clicking all the buttons, and if I remember right, there's a bug net around here. Yup.
There it is.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say he may as well just click AGA once AGA 2 goes down and get this thing filled out, huh?
Yeah, seems legit.
Yeah. I just wonder where Red Mail was. Guess it's somewhere in the tower?
Yeah, could be.
You know what? What if it's vanilla Red Mail?
Vanilla Red Mail. Wow.
It could be in the big
Actual
chest here in
big
Gavin's
chest.
Tower, yeah.
That's impressive.
I wonder if Dragon, knowing the outcome of this race already, will sort of indulge himself and check that big chest.
Yep, a new run will happen in an hour.
Indeed. Right
And
here,
Dragon-
this network.
Also picking up the 13th chest for the big key.
Indeed. Grabs key off the torch before making his ascent.
All right.
By the way, yeah, he killed Bob.
No.
Alright, gonna put the silver arrows to work on the mimics. A luxury that Makinx did not have.
Yep.
Very
So
clean move through that second room.
yeah. So one of the things that people often neglect to realize is when you've got the riot shield, you can just walk right up to those guys and shoot them in the face.
Right, you don't have to worry too much about anything, except for the Beamos in that second room. 'Cause I swear the riot shield's supposed to help with them, but then I swear it doesn't.
Yeah. Beamos. I'm not what you would call a fan of Beamos.
I don't know that anyone is. Picking up a timely heart to get rid of the beeping.
Seems legit. And it comes back.
And having passed up the safety room, I believe he's still got some decent bottle contents to work with as he
Oh yeah.
takes a bit of an
I remember him
accidental
at least-
bong into the Beamos.
I remember him at least purchasing a blue potion, and I know he's got fairies.
Ooh. Oh.
He was gonna powder that bunny beam, but once it
Yeah.
starts moving, you are done.
Right. Oh, and Lambo's just waggling out of that silver arrow path.
Got
Gotta be careful, doesn't want to get hit with debris.
there's like
here.
a 1 pixel difference.
Oh no, is there a fairy?
There's gotta be.
All right.
Like I think he's got 2. Just I don't think he's used any of his fairies since and there were 2 bottles with them, just picking them up.
Right, and only just now getting his bug net in the tower.
All right. So Dragon finishing off the Wizro rooms. Once again, some of the most satisfying rooms in the game.
Indeed. One of my favorite items and one of its best uses. Other than that, gotta love the cane dashes.
So I'm thinking Dragon wants to be okay. We're fine. I just thought it took him a little extra time to light that switch, so I wanted to make sure he was careful not to despawn the tower. It's a single frame unlucky glitch that if you go up those stairs at the same time the torches go out in the other room, it will despawn every sprite in the tower and you will be prevented from continuing.
Right. It's just absolutely crazy.
Requires a second trip up GT.
Troll, I'm not messing around today. Doesn't want to give anybody that first dash. But Dragon tells him what he thinks of that.
Getting that burrito.
Yeah, can't fight Aggo on an empty stomach.
The tower burrito. So, I mean, it sounds like some sort of challenge. You know what I
Right.
mean? Alright, let's see if Dragon can pull off the double triple. Okay.
I think it was. It might have been a little too quick, even.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So I think we're at 4 or 5, and we'll see how. All right. So there's 2
Yeah,
doubles.
yeah, double.
The Scottie Pippen to his
And there
Michael
we go.
Jordan.
Yeah, basically. Double, toil and agonim.
But yeah, so gonna make his way into this Ganon fight after a couple of misdirects. Of course, the debacle with fluting away from the flippers by accident. And then a late play into Skull Woods to find that ice rod. Chat was asking how the
Makinx
Martian got
absolutely did get a double triple, and it was beautiful.
Oh, yes, he did. And if you watch this VOD later, again, just for that. There we go. Following Ganon around quite diligently and starting off phase 3. Oh. A little bit of an interesting stop there.
Did we find the arrows in Dark Palace? We sure did.
Yep. And so we'll see a slightly quicker fight in these phases. Oh, that hit taking away his chance for the
He could have had a double there.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out because the fire bat troll.
Right. And just needs one more silver shot. Ooh.
I think that's a German word for something.
And GG to dragonc0.
All right. And Dragon finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Indeed. GG to him. Tough break with some of the item placements, but that is Randomizer after all.
I kind of feel like Dragon went on tilt after the flippers thing.
At least for a little bit. I mean, that would definitely have me upset too. But here he is in the waiting room, so let's bring him in. Dragon, GG, tough break
GG.
with the ice rod placement.
Yeah. It
But,
was awkward. Also at the start with the flippers, that
Right.
was unfortunate also.
Yeah,
I was not going to mention that unless you did, because
Yeah.
it was.
We can understand if that was a very angering point of the run.
Yeah. The fact that it was actually at Hobo, that was stupid.
Oh yeah, and then the power glove at Hobo, right?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the progression.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was annoying. That was really annoying.
But also props for finishing the run. I know that
Yeah,
you know, there's a bit of a mental weight when you see that dot dung come in. So
exactly. It was during I was on my way to my second pennant, I believe, in parts where he dot dunked.
right,
So I was on the way to the book, and I was like, do I have to continue this? So I still went to Skull Boots just to see what's in the pedestal and to get the second item that I left.
right, and of course that ended up being the big thing. So it was a good thing you stayed the course.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
But
yeah,
then I still need the
thanks for
boots.
finishing it out for us.
Yeah. I was also in Mire, and I was like, I have level 2 sword, I don't have the bow, I don't have lamp. I'm gonna come back later for the
Right.
pedestal. Yeah. That's
Entirely
every
legit.
decision just didn't turn out right for me. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a tough break, and
Yeah.
that's just Randomizer is a cruel mistress.
Yep. Indeed.
But- Yeah, so you're at 2 and 3. You've still got a chance to make the playoff with a win in your next round, and I mean, it came down to the seed. One player made a choice, the other didn't. So I think
Yeah.
you're still in this thing.
I'm definitely going hard on the qualification match, I guess you could call it.
Right.
So that's gonna be hype. I'm gonna have to play good for that.
Indeed. Yeah, that's going to be, I think they're expecting it to end up being like 32 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. But, yeah, if you enjoyed the run, guys, give dragonc0 a follow. And, you got any other thoughts on the seed? Any highlights in what were, among what were a couple of hard sticking points?
I mean, my Dragonx fight was nice.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
actually. You know,
was.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I guess that's the good thing. That was
Yeah.
a really nice Dragonx fight. I like that one.
Yeah, and that's one depending on your loadout and all. It
Yeah,
can really
definitely.
just be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for the run, and good luck with your next match and getting into that giant playoff.
Yeah. Thanks for commentating and tracking, and everyone watching.
Our pleasure.
Mhm.
I think that about wraps this one up. You got any final thoughts, Bob?
Well, all I want to say is, thanks to both of our runners. Thanks to Jighard for tracking. Thanks to, Feasel for the restreams, and thanks to you, of course, for commentating with me at Publicus.
Oh, my pleasure,
And-
Bob.
And if you want to support any of the people you've seen here today, the easiest way to do that is to just throw them a follow. Pretty easy to do. And
Especially if you enjoyed what we've been doing, because that just means you get to see more of it.
indeed. And also make sure to follow the Speed Gaming channels for all the rando that you can stando. Yeah, so
Yeah.
with that, I think it's time to call this to a close. I have been Dr. Bobtastic.
And I've been at Publicus. Stick around for the 1 o'clock match. Got 40 minutes.
All right. See you all later.
Yep. Bye, everybody.